This is the chairman of the road transport workers in Oyo State. These people came with Governor Makinde's convoy. If Governor Makinde, a first-time 2-year-old governor, yet to be 2-year-old governor, are parading characters like this, it simply shows the kind of people behind him.
No, but it does also speak about the character and the quality of the people in your party too, isn't it?
This is shameful for our party. I take responsibility in the 21st century. Togri is shameful for our party. And you remember I was in Ondo? These same people came to Ondo to attack me. These same people came to Ondo and I told Governor Makinde. So I'm glad the whole world is seeing this. Governor Makinde, he looked quiet but deadly. Parading these people to wait for me, there were over 1,000. And they were doing this to me on the video. We'll cut your neck if you dare come there. And that was why I made up my mind. I must attend that Congress. Even if I die there, I die. So I attended the Congress. By the time I got there, Omo Jomolo, you interpret that to the whole world. Omo Jomolo, they fled. So I don't think that is right for Nigeria. It's not right for our party, and it's condemnable. If anybody wants to do election, you parade talks, 200 buses of talk. It's sad.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Yes, welcome back. It's about politics and power. Auxiliary on my table. That was Fayoshi on Channels Television. He has experienced firsthand the auxiliary intrigues. And let me announce to you that you can now listen to State Affairs live on State Affairs app. Go on Google Play Store, download State Affairs app. Just type State Affairs, Edmund Obilo. The app will pop up on the store. Download it so you can listen to State Affairs on the move. State Affairs app is now live on Play Store. You use an Android phone? Download State Affairs app. Remember, My Oyo app is on Google Play Store too. Our app, Oyo resident registration on My Oyo app. Somebody is suggesting something about My Oyo app. I am on My Oyo app now. Extortion or traffic control. Somebody has left a complaint there. Reckless and indiscriminate parking of vehicles are not acceptable, and it is to be condemned and avoided. There are some restricted places that are forbidden for parking for free flow of traffic and to have a well-organized society. URTMA is the government agency saddled with this responsibility under the state government, and their performance has been encouraging. However, those forbidden areas should be labeled, and there should be bold signs with no parking inscriptions to guide the motorist. On the contrary, unfortunately, there is no sign guiding the motorist, and some people with mufti without any identity will intentionally hide themselves around these places, looking for innocent and unaware motorists to pounce on, and they'll be violently demanding for 30,000 naira as fine for innocently parking in a place where there are no parking signs. I think the government should come on My Oyo app and read this complaint. It is from Taiwo Odunola in Oluyole local government area. He complains on My Oyo app. Who is on the app? Go on the app, speak your mind on the app about Oyo State. Issue of flood. There's a report unflawed on my Oyo app. When you go to the government angle of the app, security operatives sweep into action, arrest 5 suspects connected to kidnapping in Ogbomoso. Oyo Assembly suspend Olorun Shogo chairperson, vice over mismanagement. You'll find those stories on my Oyo app. Remember, State Affairs app is now live on Play Store. So download the app. Join the radio man. On the app, you can now listen to some archival interviews. It's a complete app. You can even watch my YouTube videos on the app. So download the app, State Affairs app. And you can also go on stateaffairsng.com to listen live. It's about politics and power. It's about auxiliary. It's about Sheyi Makinde. It's about Teslim Folarin. Is Elewe Omo's death connected to the rivalry between him and the then reinstated chairman of the union, Alhaji Latif Akinshola, aka Tokyo, over the control of the union in the state? After the controversial removal of Tokyo, he took the matter to the National Industrial Court, and the court confirmed him as the authentic chairman of the union. But the government of Alao Akala refused to recognize him. Instead of enforcing the court order, the state government proscribed the union and appointed some loyalists of Elewe Omo as motor park managers in all the 33 local government areas in the state. Akala proscribed the union. Ajimobi did. Sheyi Makinde is now operating with the union. Instead of enforcing the court order, Akala sided with the Elewe Omo team. This plot by government led to clashes between the two union leaders, and it resulted in the deaths of scores of people. What was Elewe Omo doing at the scene where he met his death? He was alleged by the Folarin faction of the PDP to have been brought in by Akala to intimidate Folarin's supporters who had come out to exercise their membership rights. But some members of the Akala group of the PDP at the time, I'm talking about the interim chairman of Onara local government area, Tunde Olaiwola, he accused the Folarin group of having a hand in the murder of Elewe Omo. Folarin was later arrested without charges. He was a sitting senator at the time. In fact, Folarin was the Senate leader. He was released from Agodi prison after the PDP primaries election had been concluded. So that cost him the opportunity to vie for a gubernatorial or senatorial ticket. Perhaps that was what Akala wanted to achieve. With Folarin resting in prison, Akala countered the strong opposition he led. I later asked Akala if Folarin had anything to do with the death of Elewe Omo. Did Elewe Omo work for you?
Elewe Omo did not work for me. He can't work for me.
Was Elewe Omo your boy?
Elewe Omo is not,
Was he your boy, Elewe Omo?
He wasn't my boy, but he was a member of PDP.
He was killed when you were the governor of Oyo State.
He was killed by other NURTW people.
Not Teslim Folarin.
You see, Teslim Folarin wouldn't have killed anybody at that time. But what was, there's what we call, maybe circumstantially, people were referring to him for being unaccomplished.
But you locked him up, right?
I cannot lock him up. I don't have power to lock him up.
You influenced.
I cannot influence. I'm not no more a police officer.
He was not in good term with you as the governor, and you wanted him jailed.
No, I didn't want him jailed. Why did I want to jail? Why?
You never wanted him to be a senator again, representing any part of Oyo State.
That is politics. That was politics.
But you did that, right?
Yes, I did that.
Why? Why were you so hard on him?
Because I felt I had a better candidate.
But he dared you, right?
I don't know whether I did him, but I don't think so.
Did you deal with him?
I did not deal with him.
But you made sure he never returned to the Senate.
Perhaps that is politics.
And he fought against you too.
He did, but that is politics. Politics is show of strength.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Did Elewe Omo work for you?
Elewe Omo did not work for me. He can't work for me.
Was Elewe Omo your boy?
Elewe Omo is not,
Was he your boy, Elewe Omo?
He wasn't my boy, but he was a member of PDP.
He was killed when you were the governor of Oyo State.
He was killed by other NURTW people.
Not Teslim Folarin.
You see, Teslim Folarin wouldn't have killed anybody at that time. But what was, there's what we call, maybe circumstantially, people were referring to him for being unaccomplished.
But you locked him up, right?
I cannot lock him up. I don't have power to lock him up.
You influenced.
I cannot influence. I'm no more a police officer.
He was not in good term with you as the governor, and you wanted him jailed.
No, I did not want him jailed. Why did I want to jail?
You never wanted him to be a senator again, representing any part of Oyo State.
That is politics. That was politics.
But you did that, right?
Yes, I did that.
Why? Why were you so hard on him?
Because I felt I had a better candidate.
But he dared you, right?
I don't know whether I did him, but I don't think so.
Did you deal with him?
I did not deal with him.
But you made sure he never returned to the Senate.
Perhaps that is politics.
And he fought against you too.
He did, but that is politics. Politics is show of strength.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Yes, that was Elewe Omo in that 2011 interview. He confirmed that Latif Salako, aka Elewe Omo, was killed by members of a rival faction of the NURTW, not Folarin. Akala was the chief security officer. He says Folarin wouldn't have killed Elewe Omo. What was Folarin's defense? I spoke to Folarin in 2012. You don't want to offend the governor.
Why? I've said a lot about the ineptitude of this government.
The way you offended Akala. You don't want to offend Ajimobi that way.
Did I offend Akala?
The reason you were kept in Agodi prison, Elewe Omo, was the case.
You'll have to ask Akala why they did it.
Did you meet Elewe Omo at any time?
No.
Do you want to clear the air on that issue again?
There is nothing to clear because, again, it's people that you see, it's very disappointing. I was not even arraigned. It's not like I went through any trial. I was not arraigned. It was a setup. No one has yet to place. No one was at the venue of the murder that said they saw me there. I wasn't there. I was at home. I was at home with the barrister Sharafa-Din Ali and one of his allies. What's his name? Alhaji Dodo. I wasn't there. And the other issue is, what is the motive?
What do you
for
think?
every crime, there has to be a motive. Elewe Omo is not a politician. I am not a member of NURTW. They've always had their leadership tussle, nothing to do with me. Often with the backing of the state. I wasn't governor at the time. Akala, as the governor, armed with all the information, security reports, came on air and said Folarin did not kill Elewe Omo. And forensic, lastly, reports indicated that Elewe Omo was stabbed And if you look at the earlier reports we were getting then, was that, I had ordered my policemen to shoot Elewe Omo. Policemen don't stab people. There was no reason, there was no motive. It was just stupid.
You were not in that convoy?
No. Look, these days you have phones with camera, no evidence, nothing. I wasn't there. But more than anything, I talked about the motive. What could the motive have been? Is it that I want to be the chairman of NURTW? It's a shame Elewe Omo died there. And you see, you have to feel sorry for the family. At the end of the day, somebody is missing their breadwinner. Somebody is missing their father.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Since the death of Elewe Omo, auxiliary has been on the case of Folarin. We'll talk more about that. You don't go away. Keep sharing. Keep leaving your comments. I will be back.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5. Splash 105.5 FM is 15.
Happy birthday, dear.
Let's have the best birthday party ever.
We party here. We party big. Party now. You are listening to Oyo State's #1 most listened to radio station. Splash 105. Splash 105.5 FM, the first.
Welcome to Koronu Axis, Ibadan. There are streets in the Axis where young people struggle to make sense of their place in a country troubled by unemployment and poverty. In this place, smoking marijuana gives inspiration. Why the Axis presents the opportunity to see how they spend their time, it also shows how the environment can be engaged to save the youths from themselves.
Sala everywhere. It is not only this place alone. We have, in fact, if you want to count the joint around here alone, it runs to almost 50.
What's this area called?
This is academy. This academy, we have a common name here. We call it Koronu.
Our man Pepe must have known their temperament when he accompanied us into their space. When they saw how relaxed Pepe was, they realized how their obedience would make the world understand their plight.
Alájà gan wa jẹ ogbó ẹni. Pátá lówó tá rí ọkàn. Ṣálájó ní gbẹnu sí. Alájà gbọ́dọ̀ gbẹnu.
Àdìbò. Alẹ́ rí sẹ́sẹ́.
Kọ́sẹ̀ yá dẹ́sà mi sí.
You know, a lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two, he needs only number one. He says, I don't know, there's no number two in my book, only number one.
I hear he doesn't ride in a convoy, is that true?
Yeah, no, he doesn't because everybody loves him. Yeah.
We love our leaders too. Thank you very much.
Of our new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Here we go.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
Akinola Akinloe is on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook. He says, in a country where we practice violent and homicidal democracy, there can be no escaping the fact that only those willing and capable to cause mayhem will dominate the scene. That's Akinola Akinloe. Michael Agbaje says, for the government of Sheyi Makinde to make a change will be difficult. The situation can only be handled by restructuring transport system in the country. Thank you for leaving your comments there and for joining this discourse. Yes, Folarin did not kill Elewe Omo, Akala speaks. But why is auxiliary after Folarin? How did Folarin offend auxiliary? Or did Folarin offend auxiliary? What do you think? Remember, the lines are open. Hello, good morning. Now let's look at this. Last week, on Saturday to be precise, a video was released where auxiliary took on Folarin. Let's listen to the audio of that video speech made by auxiliary.
wíri ara rẹ wọn náà máa pe ààrẹ lọkùnrin wẹ advice mo kàn fẹ́ fún ẹ militanti rẹ tó ń kó jọ kò lè ṣe nǹkan kan fún wa ìjẹtẹ ẹjẹ tẹtẹ ẹ lè jẹ gbágunró tèmi o Bagoro ni mí, mi ò ṣe jẹ. Jẹ́ tó wá sọ̀rọ̀ kan fún ẹran lẹ́yìn. Oòrùn rẹ̀ fẹ́ sọ̀fì lọ́dọ̀ èmi ọ̀sùlárì ni. Àdìtòrò wọ Fọlárin ọ̀bà fẹ́ sọ̀fì. Yóò bá rẹ̀ lájà, ó di gbére. Ó yẹ ẹ̀yẹ olóòórùn. Gbogbo àtọ́ ń kó jọ ọ̀ràn mi. Ó dàbí omi tá a fi sẹ́yìn di ẹni. Kò ní mọ́lá. Lọ bèrè mi wò dáadáa.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Like you just heard, Auxiliary insulted Senator Folarin, accusing him of having militants who cannot do anything to him. He used a proverb that literally translates as, the way you dealt with others, you can't deal with me. If you, Folarin, is not careful with me, that would be your end. You can't do anything to me. Go and ask about me. A former member of the House of Representatives, in fact, she was the leader of the House of Representatives. I'm talking about Mulikat Akonde Adiola. She has something to say about Auxiliary. At the early part of our quarrel with Governor Makinde, Mulikat accused Auxiliary of threatening her life. In this April chat, I raised the issue with her. Who wanted to kill you?
The matter is with the police.
Auxiliary wanted to kill you?
The matter is with the police.
Who sent Auxiliary after you?
The matter is with the police.
But you announced to the world that somebody was after your life.
So that's why I said the matter is with the police. So maybe if you go to the Zone 11 in Oshogbo or the SSS here in Ibadan, they'll be able to tell you.
For 2 years, the police has been investigating that matter?
It's not my job.
What has the police told you?
It's not my job to tell you. I can't tell you.
Are you still threatened?
And right now, no, I've not noticed anything right now.
Nobody's trailing you anymore?
Not now.
They used to trail you?
I've told you the matter is with the police.
The matter is with the police?
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Auxiliary is the chairman of the Oyo State Motor Parks Disciplinary Committee, also known as Park Management System. He denied plotting to assassinate Mulikat. In a March 2021 press conference, he said he would not be able to identify Mulikat, having not met her before. That's Auxiliary. He said in that press conference that he is not a politician working for she. Let's read. Governor Makinde did ask me to involve in politics, but to work with commercial drivers in the state. I don't know her, and I cannot involve myself in the politics of Oyo State. I urge her to find those behind her ordeal. You see, when Auxiliary makes such statements, you begin to say, hey, bro, what's up? Who do you think you're talking to? You're not involved in politics? What were you doing in Oshun? What's that? You don't just deny everything. Can you say you're not involved in politics when you are in PDP gatherings all the time? You are a member of the PDP? Anyway, the lines are open. 080-915-510-55. 080-569-98678. Let's take a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Edmund.
Good morning.
Elijah Salah from Coca-Cola.
Abdusalam from Coca-Cola.
I pray that Almighty God will always protect you and give you more wisdom to handle every situation. Because some people will have narrowed everything down to this present government, but you took it from where you're supposed to took it in 1999 and even beyond, because similar things has happened during Action Group period. But it is sad that we are having the same thing in this 21st century. And our people, most of them, if they didn't school abroad, they have opportunity of being sent abroad when Nigeria was good. And being the position of authority, they have been to all the civilized countries many times, and they cannot see all these things in their politics. And I don't know why it is difficult for them to do away with all these kind of people in our politics. I pray that our leaders have a change of heart.
Thank you, Abdusalam from Coca-Cola. Call the radio station 070-694-93000.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
You're breaking.
Hello?
I can hear you. Good morning.
I'm calling from our area.
Okay.
My contribution is this. I heard the interview with Akala, where he said the politics is show of strength. And I thought to myself, why show of strength? Why not it be show of leadership instead of show of strength? Because we are lacking leadership in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The lines are open. Hit the nail on the head. Good morning.
Good morning, Edmund.
Hey, Reverend Koela Delis in class.
Yes, I'm in class. Oh. In fact, whatever other engagements I have, we have to wait till after 11 every blessed Saturday. As much as I enjoy this class. Edmund, maybe you are not aware. In those days, in the Second Republic, we had Adebayo's success. We had Ojomo in Ibadan. We had Baba Adekunle in Ado-Ekiti. We used to have Bashiru Adigun in Ibadan here. Then came Alhaji Tokyo. Then Alhaji Akinshola. Then Elewe Omo Salako that you have spoken of. Then auxiliary of the blessed day today, Mukaila Lamidi, and also Ajanoku, and many, many others that I cannot mention. Why do our politicians raise those foot soldiers? They make them their own foot soldier because they believe more in them. They can't use the police the way they will use these people. Let me tell you a story. When Governor Lamidi Adeshina Lamade was the governor of Oyo State, he wanted to cause an uproar in the State House of Assembly. And he gave the assignment to his ADC, who a uniform police couldn't carry it out because of the profession. His profession will be at stake. If a policeman dare enter into the House of Assembly, he will be questioned. What has he come to do there? They are not allowed. And that shifted the attention to, I've forgotten the name now, we'll pick it up later. So immediately they carried out that assignment. They went there, they disrupted the process, sent all the men out. The governor now became angry with his ADC. I had this very clearly. The ADC is somebody I know. And to the extent that at that time, even that ADC was removed. So what I'm telling you in essence is that they raise this caliber of people because they cannot use the police the way they use them. Now let's cast our mind back. We are talking about state police. Imagine what they will use the police for if they have to have authority over them. I'm talking about our executive governor. So those clamoring for state police, we must be very careful. Because if we can see what they are using these people for, you can imagine what they will use the authority in their hands if they have the police in their kitchen. We need to be very, very careful what we are asking for. But the question you have been asking is, do they need these people? That is the terribleness of our politics. They don't need them, but the kind of politics we play is what gives opportunity to them. What is in losing an election? What is in vying for a position? Should it be a do or die? Should you be desperate to be the leader? If the interest is to go there for the people, whoever emerges there should be somebody we all come together to support, to render good government and governance. But that is not to be. Then that tells us that their purpose of going there is not what we expect. Their purpose of going there is to enrich themselves.
Thank you.
And the opportunity they gave to these people, because after using them to do this or that, they now give them a free hand to do whatever they like in the community. That is the problem of our time. May God help us. May God deliver us. Good morning.
Thank you, Reverend Koye Ladile. Remember, Auxiliary became the chairman of NURTW after the death of Elewe Omo. He rose to fame under Akala, but he met his Waterloo during Ajimobi's administration following the 2011 violence in Iwo Road that consumed lives and property. It was a fight between Tokyo and auxiliary factions of the Union over who controlled the parks in Iwo Road axis. Bayo Ojo, Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General of Oyo State during the time, in this May 2022 chart, explains why the Ajimobi government moved on auxiliary.
And I said, I'll go far. Not only Sokoto. Look at the people that was killed at Iwo Road now, in broad daylight. What has happened? It is the state that has failed us. You see, you don't profile crime. That was done by fanatics. It was done by motor park or PMS people. But no, a crime is a crime. And the full weight of the law must be brought on criminals. And it must be brought on book.
Does the law have weight again?
No, the law has weight.
So where is the law?
No, it's the government that if the government does not have political will and the perpetrators are not brought to book. Let me give an instance. When Ajimobi was here and a young the president of medical student was killed at World, we brought the perpetrator to book.
You were the Attorney General?
I was Attorney General. We was arrested, he was prosecuted, and he was sentenced.
You are talking about auxiliary?
Yes. The full weight of the law was brought to bear on him.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
That was Bayo Ojo there. This 2012 interview I'm about to play was a way to look into the eyes of auxiliary and confront him with words on the street about his character. It was an opportunity to explore his frailties and resolve. When we got into the apartment, we met him calm, but looking desperate. We had wondered why the location of the interview was interior and guided with intense secrecy. But that was not going to deter us. I went with Tunde Olawo. We had been told that we will not be allowed to drive in our car to the location of the interview. We parked at the agreed petrol station and waited patiently for the car that came to pick us around 11 a.m. to where auxiliary was. While I was interested in an interview, I was more keen at having an off-record candid chat with him. I measured his smile and laughter and came out with the conclusion that we are dealing with an aggressor and a victim. Auxiliary has been conditioned by the state to be what he is. He cannot renege because he is entangled. While you listen to this chat, try and peep into his mind. You will find some innocence buried in a body abused by power and politics. Therefore, he loses the innocence in defense of his actions. Mr. Auxiliary, were you not the leader of the political talks that denied Oyo State peace? Were you not the one that led boys to the Oyo State House of Assembly to beat up honorable members like Nofiu Bale?
Not at all. I'm not in Baden by that time. Nofiu Bale.
Can you remember Nofiu Bale?
I remember. I know. It's my man.
Were you not the one that stripped him naked?
No, I'm not the person. No, I'm not the type. I'm not the type. You can see me now. I'm a gentleman.
People said they saw you.
I'm not in Ibadan by that time.
Do you believe yourself?
I said that I'm not in Ibadan. I'm at Ilorin for good 3 months before that time I come back, because everything, when Governor Ladoja has drive everybody from garage, everybody have scattered by that time. After, I'm now hearing that people goes to go and fight in secretariat. I'm not there. By that I'm with my brother in Ilorin.
They say you are like a breeze, a wind. You cannot be caught.
At all. When I'm not a hunter, when I'm not a killer, Boko Haram, those Delta people, they can fly. But you see me, I think you see me what I wear now.
Where are your guns?
I don't have any gun. I'm a good gentleman.
You are a violent man.
No, I'm not a violent man at all. People likes me, even though in my area, people likes me. People, you know that if I'm not your friend now, and I want to be your friend, sir? If I'm not your friend now, I want to be your friend. Either I will make your name bad, or I will make your name good to see the person who can bring me to you, to know the type of the person you are. That is why people like to shout in my name. Everybody likes me.
Are you not a wanted man?
Yes, before.
No longer?
No longer.
Can you walk into Elewe police station today?
Why? No. Let me tell you one thing. I can walk to Elewe station today.
But you are hiding.
No, I'm not hiding it again. I'm not hiding again. Why I'm hiding before? You know that when they put frying pan in fire, they come put oil on top. It go first make one noise. After the noise, it go cool down. Abi, the noise has going down. But now, I thank my God and I thank Governor Agimobi that he know who the type of the person who I am, and he knows Alaji took you very well.
So why did you take me through the rough roads to get to this place? Why did you have to apply mafia tactics to get us here? Why did you want a telephone interview and not a face-to-face one?
No, sir. You can see me when you reach here. You can see that. So people used to, I tell you that time that people used to, if they are your opponent, they used to black name somebody's name.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
was an interesting day. I was fulfilled because I looked into his eyes, and he was removing his eyes from the eyes of a journalist. You know, I also felt for him because I asked, why are things the way they are? There are so many young boys scattered on the street, being used by the political class. And it constitutes the violent nature of the Nigerian state. So when the political class say we are buying guns to deal with criminals, sometimes I say, what's going on? You are in alliance with criminals. You produce criminals. You turn innocent boys into criminals. So you see why we cannot fight crime? Because those who are fighting crime don't come to equity with clean hands. All right. After this break, I will drop my theory of violence and why the political class cannot do with this guy, cannot do without these guys. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund.
Look at the babies, the Musper twins. They depend on givers for succor and struggle to get their shares.
Do you do this all the time?
No, not all the time.
Okay. And how do you feel? See them scrambling for...
I feel bad. My husband has a farm.
Okay.
He harvested this, and I just felt I should bring this to them. I feel sad each time I come. This is my route.
Okay.
Most times when I'm going in the morning, they sleep over there. They bathe there, they cook there. Yes. I have a pain in my heart saying that. I've been here once or twice asking that, can I adopt one of them? The process is much. I just felt, well, this is what I can afford to bring to them. Part of my husband's farm's produce, and I brought it to them.
Has government acted responsibly enough to help solve their problems?
Not in any way. It's corruption all over. Not in any way. But the ones that people like us can do, I bring clothes here for them. Just do it and
Madam, are we safe with this insurgency, with these people?
We are not in any way. We are not. All of these children, give them 1,000 naira, that's the maximum, they will do anything. We are not. And if I have my way, I want to pick one or two of them and adopt. If they will release them. I've been here, I've spoken to they call the man one name, that I need just 2 girls. I'm a Christian. But that also is a constraint. They don't want to
it's not. If we want to, we are Nigerians.
I've been here. Yeah. Not once, not twice. I want to adopt 2 of them, train them, bring back them here some years after. Perhaps by the time they see the difference, others will be able to follow suit.
This is Elewe Junction, Iyagokun, Ibadan.
She ran away from
drive
death.
down.
She was helpless.
You go to Cocoa
and
House.
decided to come south.
You move in this direction. You are moving to 110. 110 leads to Challenge. You turn into this angle. You are moving towards Elewe Market. It's such an important junction. Sadly, it's also a dangerous junction. At that end, it's a deep valley. If you miss your way, you plunge in. Those that plunge in hardly come out alive. It is a very dangerous junction. In the dangerous junction,
they are eager to turn. As it becomes rowdy, Aisha responds.
Potholes on the rail track.
They need health care.
On the rail track.
Look at her hair.
Should be taken care of.
She's in pain. They are free with Aisha. They want to explain their plight with vivid details.
Because many people
they have come, they have seen. They want to go home? Aisha puts the question.
Yes, I pass that place. I pass it where they follow Allah to walk. One enter, I pass and enter.
He has seen the poverty of the South. Look at the babies. Her loss between is about hardship. Her innocence. They depend on givers. She is surrounded and struggle to find their shares.
You do this all the time?
Does she dream?
And how do you feel? See them
Dream of her
for
in a school, in a good home, growing steadily and happy. But her place at the moment is in the street.
This is my route. Most times when I'm going in the morning, they sleep over there. They bathe there, they cook there.
She is one of the children from northern Nigeria running away from violence and poverty. She is not alone. Her relations are part of the journey to Ibadan in search for better life. They found themselves in Ibadan and discovered that in their cases, suffering is a companion jealously holding on to a lover. They are homeless. When they arrived, they took their places by the fence of Mokola Army Barracks, where they hoped to build their tents. But the army would have none of that. They must leave. They are scattered on the street in search of comfort. They end up as beggars. That is their reward for being burned in Nigeria. They have shown the zeal to survive despite their conditions. Hadiza is already finding her way around. She ran away from the north to survive the violence there.
Yawa kamar ya ta wace hanya aka kashe wayannan shanayen? Ta ya aka kashe su ko aka sace su ya aka yi?
Abin da waɗannan da ka kasawa ɗan fatin nan na da
Before I round off, let me hear two voices. 08091551055. What do you think about this analysis? Hit the nail on the head. 08056998678. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Edmund. This is calling from Overdue.
You're breaking, but go ahead.
Yes, topic you are treating today is very interesting, but I think the problem didn't start with the state. The federal system itself is where the problem is. Because the issues within, so far as you have discussed, there are issues that can be solved within by the police. But the police system in Nigeria has failed us. And that's why I pity Governor Teslim today. He is using hoodlums. He is using, people that people call having personable character and things like that. But he does not have a choice. If he dare not use them, you will see somebody will walk up to him one day and poke fingers into the governor's eyes. And, God forbid. So, this police system in Nigeria is what have given way for these kind of things to happen. And if you want to become a governor, you don't have a choice. You must have your own informal and standing army, or else you stand protected. God bless us.
Thank you. All right. The leadership of Nigeria has a grave sin on its conscience. Irredeemable characters ever plotting to plunge the land into deeper troubles. The chaos favors some of their designs. That is why they are easy victims of conspiracy. A philosophical quote reads, "Against a man who is highly esteemed, conspiracy is difficult. He guards against conspiracy if he avoids being hated or scorned by the people by keeping them satisfied. A satisfied people will be outraged against the conspirator. The fear of the people deters the conspirator from going ahead with the plot. No conspiracy succeeds without the support of disgruntled elements. He is disgruntled because he is not satisfied. So he joins the effort to create a system for his own satisfaction. In this case, it's either you are a friend or an enemy. The goodwill of the people keeps the redemptive leader on the saddle, and that brings satisfaction to the largest majority. With auxiliary in the picture, she is contending with the ambition of the power brokers and the insolence of the disgruntled segment of the people. Auxiliary represents the avarice of unofficial soldiers. She is in the middle, fighting to balance his expectations. If the system was not this chaotic, auxiliary perhaps would be more advanced in his methods and would fit into a structure of decency. The bone to crack for Seyi Makinde is, how does he satisfy the populace complaining about the activities of auxiliary and also satisfy the large number of unofficial soldiers that auxiliary controls? In communities like Bere, where there are large number of young persons roaming aimlessly and trying to live by the day, they are prone to gang violence and collective madness. They admit themselves to a leadership system organized to keep food and drugs at their beck and call. They are soldiers ever ready for deployment. Many of them are in the parks, some are land grabbers, and some of them are political thugs. Call them loud if you like. The police system as presently constituted cannot tame them. These ones occupy ungoverned spaces in different parts of our communities. The ungoverned spaces are their domains, and they govern them through extortions and violence. They become centers of power that politicians must tap into to expand their power. Since the state cannot govern these ungoverned spaces, the leaders of the state will have to go through these ones to access those spaces, and by so doing, they create coalitions. The extortions you see are forms of taxation by the lords of these ungoverned spaces to maintain their powers. Since these lords control large spaces, the political leader attracts majority of them to his side to win the bigger stake. To have control of this structure when you are outside the system is not easy. So you need an auxiliary, an ekubemi, for example, as a link to control the gangs. So the leader in that kind of situation must be cautious. If he loses control, he comes to grief. Is Seyi Makinde attracting the revulsion of the most powerful segment of society? There are three segments Makinde needs to satisfy: the people, the power brokers, and the unofficial soldiers. He must have the natural standing to create a balance. That is, he must be able to appease them, or he will come to grief. Makinde has done that well. If he's not able to appease all, he looks at the most powerful of the segments for succor. Has Seyi Makinde chosen auxiliary as succor? Take note. Because they are soldiers, they are in love with violence. And they will like a leader that encourages them. That is why sometimes you ask, it means nobody can control auxiliary? It is the emergence of two diverse elements that the leader must pander to maintain his reign. It is a great difficulty to satisfy the divide, as the natural authority of the leader is called to task. Throwing his lot with the soldiers denies him the love of the people in a democracy. But Seyi knows how to keep the people satisfied. Have you wondered why he will not take on the street traders? Why he will leave micro drivers to run riot? He's applying a tactics of survival. He cannot fight on all fronts. So he lets the people be. And that is what the opposition call opportunistic governance, that is a populist leader. I'll leave it at this point. At another point, I will conclude the theory. That is just part one of my theoretical explanation of why things are the way they are. Part 2 and 3 will come. I thank Bosun Alayode for this production. Yes, you have 1 minute to make a point. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's also very interesting to be in class this morning as usual. I listened to the very respected Reverend Oyeladele. He's somebody I have a lot of regard for. He's one of the people that we need in the society. But as regards the information that he passed about the ADC that was removed during the Great Lamb's tenure, it wasn't about the House of Assembly. I know the person he was referring to. I know the person that took over after him. And from information, the ADC had a particular issue with somebody who at that point in time was called Great Lamb, precisely Alhaji Kayode Adekojo. It was a fracas in the governor's office, and it became really very serious that was what happened. It wasn't about the House of Assembly. It wasn't about the Great Lamb wanting to cause chaos in the House of Assembly. So I just felt that we needed to clarify this very quickly. So that was exactly what the issue the ADC had at that point in time, not anything that had to do with the House of Assembly.
Thank you for this clarification. I hope you enjoyed the class.
Fantastic. Today is another good one. And I'm also very happy to be a student of this class.
Thank you, Dr. Lama Deshino.
Keep the fly.
Thank you. Yes, the radio man has to go now. Remember, there is a new dimension to the power equation, the emergence of Amotekun as an instrument of power. All right, next week is another time. Bosun, Bele, Tunde Olawo is here. You remember the journey to see auxiliary? He remembers. Ayo, thank you. Moses, the documentary photographer. Miriam Giwa, yes, who is streaming up there?